So let me start out simply by saying this one thing. You do not need money, and you do not need a bank, a national bank or commercial bank, to get these deals done. Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Science Flipping Podcast. I am Justin Colby, and this is part 2 of the 2-part episode sequence, which is all about my business, wholesaling to wealth, and how you can wholesale your way into building wealth through rental properties and how I'm actually doing it. Now, first of all, if you could do me a massive favor right out of the gates, if you're liking my podcast on iTunes, make sure you are giving me a 5-star review. I would greatly appreciate that. You could even write a review if you so want, but make sure you give me a 5-star review. Secondly, make sure if you're not yet watching these podcasts on YouTube, that you go subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Justin Colby. There is a channel called Science Flipping Podcast, so you can watch these episodes and you can actually see me versus just hearing me. And also I drop 3 other YouTube videos each and every week all about business, real estate, and entrepreneurship. So check it out, subscribe, like the videos. I would really appreciate all that. Now, let's just jump into this episode, which will be a continuation. Today, we're going to be talking about money. How am I financing these buy and holds? And this is in large part where I think most people who do not have experience have the challenges. They think, well, I don't have enough money to buy all these, Justin, or I won't be able to go get those bank loans. So let me start out simply by saying this one thing. You do not need money, and you do not need a bank, a national bank or commercial bank, to get these deals done. I will give you first scenario, which would be private money. Private money is probably the best way to do this. Whether it's friends, family members, colleagues that come in with cash to help you buy and remodel, and then you can refi them out. If you remember the last episode, I talked to you about refiing out your money. So you want to buy it, you want to rehab it to 75% of ARV. Then a bank or even a hard money lending bank like Lending Home or Lima Capital will come in and refi you out up to 75% of the value of the home. So they will go do an appraisal, and if your all-in number is 75%, then they'll give you all your money back. So your private money lender will actually not leave in any money. Now, like I said on the last episode, I have yet to refi and actually take every single dollar out so far. Doesn't mean it won't happen, just so far. And the money I leave in, I actually just negotiate with the private lender a 4% interest rate that they get for keeping the money in. As I just mentioned on my last episode, the most recent property that we refied out, my lender had to keep in roughly $6,000. And so if you put 4% interest on that, you can just simply do the math. It doesn't take long because I'm earning $450 net after all costs to get that $6,000 repaid. Now, my business model isn't to go make a bunch of rental money yet. I want to get to a place where I have hundreds of rentals and then I can start taking the income. What it is to build wealth. You see, what banks, real banks, national banks like the Bank of America's, they love to see that you have a lot of homes in equity and they will lend you more money. So the faster I can get to 200 rental properties, the faster a bank will loan me more money to buy more rental properties. That's the model, everybody, right? That's where you can actually go and get money from the banks so you don't need your private money lenders. But until then, I would encourage you to think through, where could you find some private money lenders? As I told you on the last episode, I'm buying these homes for $20,000 or $30,000. I'm putting in anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000 into the remodel. And essentially, I'm making $450 a month after all taxes, insurance, debt, all costs are out. I'm still putting $450 in my pocket. Now, again, these private individuals, they only need to come in, let's just say you bought it at $20,000 and you have to put in $30,000, they only need to come in $30,000. So before you get like, oh, Justin, I don't know any rich people, I don't have a rich uncle or rich parents, I don't either. If you guys remember my story, during the foreclosure crash, I lost my home to foreclosure. I was sleeping on a couch, and to make the matters that much worse, the repo man took my car. My family doesn't have money. I didn't come from money. I didn't have any rich uncles, but I understood this one thing, and listening to podcasts like this and getting coaching from several of my coaches, they taught me how to do this. Now, let me pause there for you guys. If you're interested in me actually coaching you, holding your hand, giving you the actual blueprint to this business model, go to 𝐓𝐼𝐍𝐒.com and go fill out a simple form. One of my top success advisors will reach out to you and see if we would be a good fit, me the coach, you the student. I'd love to be able to help you gain traction wholesaling to the point where you can actually build in this wealth component and you can start buying rentals yourself. So now back to the lending part, what I'd tell you then is if you don't have the private money, there are hard money companies that will pay for the purchase price. And in fact, they will actually reimburse you for the remodel if you so need it. Now, the next part is to leverage these hard money companies with private money. That's where your friend, family member, or otherwise, maybe they don't have 50 grand, but maybe they have 20 grand. Maybe they have 30 grand. And that's where you can leverage their capital with the capital that is brought in by the hard money lender. Now, these hard money lenders typically will be, on that type of loan, they're gonna be closer to 9 or 10% interest. But then again, you are gonna refi them out when you're all done, because if you stick to the model, your purchase price and your rehab is 75% of ultimate value, and then the other lender will come in and take out the hard money and take out your private. So now, instead of just using a private, you're actually using both. And again, if you just look at the math, and I have spreadsheets on my website. If you go to 𝐓𝐼𝐍𝐒.com, there are calculators, right? Spreadsheets for the buy and hold model, for the flip model, that you can just simply download. So go to the Science of Flipping and go get those calculators for yourself so you can just understand the spreadsheet and the math. But now you can actually go further faster. So when I say I have $5 million that I can go spend on rental properties, is because I'm leveraging private money and I'm leveraging hard money. And if I can leverage them together, and then I can take another lender and they will actually give me a loan to take the first two, the hard money and the private money, away, well, now I just win, right? And I don't want this to be convoluted for you guys. And maybe, again, this is a good reason for you to go to youtube.com/Justin Colby, because you can see me on YouTube. And maybe when you're listening to this, it's not lining up yet. Maybe you're just having a little trouble. But if you really write this out, you don't ever need to bring in your own money. I want that to be really, really clear here on these podcast episodes, is you don't ever need to bring in your own money on these properties. And as long as you structure it the right way, and as long as you have the right paperwork in place, you can either partner with your private money lender. They could just be like a bank and you give them a 4% interest like I do. But either way, you would never need to bring in your own money. Now for me, people ask, well, what do I do? Well, I have a combination of both. Some of it is just debt, right? Like I said, the 4% interest. And then there's other money lenders that I bring in as partners. And so it just really depends on who I'm dealing with and how I want to make this all work out. So with that all being said, I want you to be clear. You don't need to go to a bank. You don't need to have your own money. You can build wealth, but you got to start with what I told you on the last episode. Start creating the opportunities. Start finding the areas that you can go create those opportunities and just execute. The only way for you to start building wealth is one house at a time, and I encourage you guys to start doing that. Now, if you're liking this, smash the like button on YouTube. Make sure you're giving me a 5-star review. Hopefully these episodes are rocking the house for you guys and you're starting to systemize your business, get a little further. As I mentioned, if you are looking for coaching, go to 𝐓𝐼𝐍𝐒.com. I'm happy to help you out and see if we are going to be a good fit. But besides that, I will see you on the next podcast episode. Peace.